What's going on, guys? This is Nate from the Script Academy welcoming you to our very first live duel on the channel. Today we've got Fluffals versus Timelord. Now, as I said earlier this week, each week we're going to be doing a deck profile and then doing some test hands for a combo video, as well as doing a live duel. So today we're doing a live duel. It's me versus Gerald here. He is playing Timelord versus my Fluffals. Timelord is kind of a tricky deck to play against just because they do tend to burn a lot, as well as they can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. So they're no popping with Tiger or anything like that. So he did go ahead and he liked to go first, activating Pot of Duality. I didn't actually know what he was playing at the time. So he did reveal Time Maiden, Raffion the Time Lord, and then Advanced Draw. He liked him to go with the Raffion, I believe. Maybe Time Maiden. I would pick Time Maiden in this scenario myself. He doesn't know what I'm playing, and then I don't know what he's playing either. So now it does look like he does have a Reaper in his hand. That's interesting that you can actually see that in the video. I didn't realize that. He does have Winter Cherries in his hand, so depending on what he has in his extra deck, he could hit me for something pretty good here. Like I said, I am playing Fluffals in this live duel here, so I'm going to be attempting to OTK him, which means I have to get around any of his Time Lords. He did go ahead and add Raffion to his hand. Raffion is the one that if you attack or is attacked, you take damage equal to the attacker. So if I attack him with anything, I take that damage. I draw for turn here, and it looks like I have an engage in my hand, so I'm going to go ahead and activate that engage here as soon as I read this card. I've never actually played against Time Lords in a duel like this. I've seen them like online and whatnot, and played them online, but I've never actually played them in person, so knowing their names and what each one of them does is kind of tricky for me. But yet again, this one is the one where if you attack it or it is attacked, that person takes the attack of whatever attacked it. So I am going to go ahead and activate Engage here. Engage is a really, really good card in this deck, allowing you to not only plus off your draws, because you do get a lot of spells in the grave, but allows you to get into a Link monster right away with your Hornet Drones. So I am going to go ahead and add the Hornet Drones to my hand, activating the Hornet Drones and getting myself a token. Once I have that token, I am going to go ahead and use that token into a Link 1 with Sky Striker Ace Kagari. Activating the effect of Kagari here, adding the Hornet Drones back to hand, and then activating the Hornet Drones a second time to get myself a second token to the field, so I can go ahead and go into a Link 2. We'll go ahead and use that token and the Kagari to go into Link 2. We'll go into Alistair, the Invoker of Madness. Once we do that, we are going to activate Toy Vendor. It looks like I'm going to be trying to get some more spells in the grave. I do know that I have another Engage in hand as well, so maybe we can get some draws off here. So we're going to go ahead and activate the Toy Vendor here. A lot of people don't actually know how to play against Fluffals, so I have to kind of explain what Toy Vendor does. Discarding for a cost, we'll discard the Egypt Chain to draw a card and reveal it after he cuts my deck from the search from the first Engage. So we'll go ahead and reveal it is an effect failure. Unfortunate, it goes to the grave. Egypt Chain's effect is going to go ahead and activate, however, allowing me to add one card that has Frightfur in the name. So we're going to go ahead and add Frightfur Patrick, one of the best cards in the deck, one of the cards that just got released that allows me to go ahead and add a Polymerization as well as an Egypt to my hand. So we're going to go ahead and add Polymerization and Egypt Sabers. And one of the issues with this deck is going to be having to figure out a way to get around monsters that cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect. There are a few ways we can get around it, depending on how I want to do it. I do have a second Engage in hand as well, so there's a few things that I can do to get around it, whether it be setting it with Kraken, setting it with Unicorn back to the deck, or doing a couple of other things to it, as you will see coming up shortly. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and activate that second Engage here, allowing me to add one more Sky Striker card in my hand. This time we're adding Widow Anchor to my hand, and then we're also going to be able to get a draw off of the Engage because of the 3 or more spells in the graveyard. This time he goes ahead and he likes to, oh, there it is, going to get the cut in, and then I'll draw off the Engage. Alrighty, now that we got all that out of the way, we can kind of start picking away at him and work towards the OTK. So we're going to go ahead and activate that Widow Anchor, targeting his Raffion. It will negate its effects, but because I do have 3 or more spells in my graveyard, I'm going to be going ahead and taking control of that monster. After that, I'm going to go ahead and calculate with my fingers here just how to OTK the easiest way possible. We're going to go ahead and activate Polymerization here with Edgem Sabers and Fluffal Cat going into Kraken, I believe. It is Kraken that we are summoning. So on summon of Kraken, we're going to have Chainlink 1 of Invoker, and then, or Chainlink 1 Cat, Chainlink 2 Invoker of Madness. So Alistair Invoker of Madness is going to add the Invocation in my hand, and then Fluffal Cat's going to go ahead and add that Polymerization I just used back to my hand as well. So I'll add both of those as he doesn't have anything to stop me. He does have that Winter Cherries in hand, so I'm not sure why he didn't try and hit that Kagari. I'm sure that he has it in his extra deck. Because if you're playing Time Lords with Winter Cherries, that would be one of the only things that you would actually use. It's just a whole bunch of Winter Cherries targets, especially if you're manning it. Alright, so we added that Polymerization to hand as well as the Invocation. And we're going to go ahead and work towards the OTK. As I did state in the beginning of this video though, this is our first live duel, so if you are seeing anything that needs to be changed or anything that you would recommend, please let us know down in the comment section below, and we will be sure to get that for next week. So we are using his Raffion as well as my Invoker Madness to go into Nightmare Unicorn. Nightmare Unicorn's effect is going to activate on summon. I'm discarding for cost. Target is back row to go ahead and spin it back to the deck. He is going to activate his trap. This is one of the Time Lord traps. He's electing to discard 1 card to draw a card. And, you know, adding cards, drawing cards is not always that good of a thing. I do have a hand trap in my hand, though. I do have Ash Blossom. So this is where I'll go ahead and find out that he's going to be electing to draw a card and discard a card, or discard a card to draw a card here. And then I will be dropping that Ash Blossom on him. So there's the Ash. It does go to, his card does go to Grey, now does fizzle. I think there was a bit of a confusion here. So there's a discard for cost that I had to do off of Unicorn. little miscommunication there on whether or not it goes back to deck. It does go to grave, but he does end up shuffling, just because he thought that he had to shuffle into the deck. But because it resolved first before Unicorn, it does go to grave. So I'll go ahead and cut the deck just because he did shuffle, and then we'll activate the Polymerization we just added back with the Fluffal Cat, with Kraken and the Bear in our hand to go into our Fight for Sabertooth. Fight for Sabertooth effect will activate, adding back the Kraken. So as of right now, we do have leads on the field, so we'll go ahead and enter battle phase and attack with Kraken once and twice. He doesn't realize that he can attack twice. And then finally, we're going to go ahead and attack with our Sabertooth for game. So let's go ahead and jump into game 2 here. He elected to go second this time, obviously. A lot of times if you are going against Fluffals and you lose game 1 because you got OTK'd, you're going to be electing to go second the next time. That way Fluffals can't really build a board. Looks like he does have 2 Winter Cherries in his hand though, so that is unfortunate for us, as well as a Torrential and another card that I currently can't see. Looks like another Time Lord, or yeah, Time Lord trap there. So we are going to go ahead and activate our Foolish Burial, dropping our Toy Vendor. Really good card. Foolish Burial can drop the Toy Vendors just so you can add a card, whatever you need at the time. So we're going to go ahead and dig through our deck here, and we're going to add a Fluffal Bear, I believe. After I take a look to make sure that I have everything I need inside my hand, so I can go ahead and go off. So there's the adding of the Fluffal Bear, or Fluffal Dog, I should say. Adding a Fluffal Dog. He does elect to tap this time instead of cutting the deck. We're going to go ahead and summon the dog, activating his effect to add a Fluffal monster or an Edgem Sabers. So we're going to go ahead and add Fluffal Wings. After that, we'll activate the bear in our hand to set a Toy Vendor. So as of right now, all he has is the Winter Cherries that he can activate from his hand, but I don't believe he actually has any kind of Fluffal or Fright Fur monsters in his extra deck to even think about hitting with cherries. So we are pretty much in the clear as of right now. We'll go ahead and activate our Toy Vendor. Have him cut our deck after the set. That way we can draw off the Toy Vendor. Activate the Toy Vendor's effect, discarding the wings for cost, and revealing a second Foolish Burial of Goods, which is going to go ahead and drop into the grave. We'll then go ahead and activate Wings effect, banishing it and another Fluffal, in this case Fluffal Bear, to draw a card, send Toy Vendor to the grave, and draw another card. After that, Toy Vendor's effect will activate, allowing us to add one Fluffal or Edge Imp Sabers. Lots of draw power in this deck, a lot of things that if you don't have a hand trap to stop any of it, we can gain a lot of momentum and a lot of card advantage real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and dig through my deck real quick to add a card in my hand with either Edge Imp Sabers or Fluffal in the name. We're adding a second Fluffal Dog. The reason behind this is because we are going first. I don't really want to get too much on the field that he can go ahead and bust out, with adding of Medion or anything like that, so he can shuffle things back to the deck. So we're going to go ahead and set one card and pass a turn. He's going to go ahead and draw for turn, drawing into a Pot of Duality. So he's going to go ahead and special summon the Time Maiden. Time Maiden's effect is going to go ahead and tribute itself to go ahead and add one Timelord to his hand. He's going to go ahead and add Mission, the Timelord. This Timelord is the one that halves attack, or halves life points. So if it declares an attack, it will have my life points. We'll go ahead and give his deck a cut. Alrighty, so he's going to go ahead and normal summon the Mission, enter the battle phase, and attack my Fluffal Dog. Not destroying it, but it is going to halve my life points. After that, he'll set one card, set two cards, set three cards, and pass his turn. I'll go ahead and draw for turn here, and we'll get going on seeing if we can OTK, because he only did 4,000 damage. We'll have to see if we can get at least 8,000 during my turn. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and normal summon Fluffal Dog. He's going to go ahead and check that effect one more time, and we'll begin digging through our deck to add a Fluffal or Edge Imp Sabers to our hand, adding Fluffal Bear. We'll then activate the Fluffal Bear to set a second Toy Vendor from our deck to our field. So there's a Toy Vendor there. We'll go ahead and set that, shuffle our deck up, and give it to him to cut. We'll go ahead and activate that Toy Vendor here. Discarding a Wings to grave to draw into a Fluffal Cat. Now when you do draw into a Fluffal off of Toy Vendor, you do have the option of special summoning one monster from your hand. A lot of people don't realize it doesn't have to be a Fluffal, it can be any monster that's currently in your hand. So we can either special summon the Fluffal Cat, or we can add that to our hand and special summon something else instead. We are going to elect to special summon a Edge Imp Chain to our side of the field. There is no effect of it on summon, but once it goes to grave, it does have an effect. Alright, from there we're going to go ahead and use Edge Imp Chain and Fluffal Dog, and we're going to link summon into a Link 2. Now because we are doing that, our Edge Imp Chain's effect is going to activate because it is being sent from field to grave. Looks like we are going to be linking into a Land Fornicus instead of a Alistair Invoker of Madness. So Edge Imp Chain's effect is going to activate, allowing us to add Fright Fur Patchwork to our hand. After that, we'll go ahead and activate Frightful Patrick, allowing us to add a Polymerization and an Edgem card to our hand. So we'll add Polymerization and Edgem Sabers. After that, we'll go ahead and activate Wings. We can do it once per turn, and since we did it last turn, we can do it again. He's just double checking to make sure that that can happen. One of the main reasons you actually play 2 Fluffal Wings instead of 3, because you can only do it once per turn. So we'll go ahead and activate its effect, banishing it and another Fluffal Bear to draw a card and send Toy Vendor to the grave and draw a second card. After that, Toy Vendor's effect will activate, allowing us to search for another Fluffal or Edgem Sabers. We do only play one Edgem Sabers though, so we will be searching for a Fluffal card. Or Fluffal monster, I should say. So it looks like we're going to be searching for a Fluffal Owl. Alright, looks like we're going to be going into another Link monster here, using our land Fornicus, a Link 2, and our Fluffal Dog, a Link 1, or I should say 1, to go into a Link 3, our Nightmare Unicorn. This is one way that we can get around the Time Lords. So we're going to go ahead and activate Nightmare Unicorn's effect. Discarding for cost and targeting 1 card on the field to shuffle it back into the deck. Looks like we are going to be discarding the Fluffal Owl here, targeting one of his set back row. So we'll go ahead and shuffle that into the deck real quick. I do have plans for the Michion on his field, so we didn't really need to shuffle that back in. So as long as he doesn't stop that, we should be good to go. So once that's shuffled up, we'll give him a quick cut. And we'll continue on with our play. Alright, next we're going to activate our set card, Sky Striker Mecha, or Widow Anchor. So Widow Anchor is going to negate his Michion's effect, but because we do have 3 or more spells in our graveyard, we can go ahead and take control of it. So now we've taken care of that problem that was sitting on the opposite side of the field. Now we'll go ahead and take Nightmare Unicorn and his Michion to go into YuGiOh Skull Dread. Now because I only used 2 monsters, I'm not going to get his draw effect or special summon effect, but I am going to get all of the effects that allow me to go ahead and gain attack to any monster that's added, or that's on and pointing to his areas or whatever. So next we'll go ahead and we'll activate Hornet Drones here. Or we'll activate Engage, adding Hornet Drones. And then we'll get a draw off of the Engage. We'll see if I actually remember to... Oh, he did, yeah. He did go ahead and elect to tap there. Drawing off the Engage. Then we'll activate Polymerization that we added off the Patchwork. Using Cat and Sabers to go into Tiger. Now Frightful Tiger's effect is going to activate on Summon as well as Cat's effect and YuGiOh. So YuGiOh is going to go ahead and give us attack points, as well as Tiger's going to go ahead and target on Summon his 2 back row, and Cat's going to go ahead and add the Polymerization back to our hand. Now on Summon, he's going to go ahead and activate the Torrential Tribute, which is going to go ahead and clear out my field. Unfortunately for him, the Tiger does still resolve, as well as the Cat, so we are going to get the Polymerization back to our hand, and his back row is going to be destroyed. Now that his field is all the way clear with nothing in sight, we can go ahead and activate the Hornet Drones, getting ourselves a token. On summon of the token, we are going to be getting Reapered here, and he's going to go ahead and reveal the Kagari, which is unfortunate for us because we cannot go into our Alistair Invoker Madness. So we'll go ahead and see that Kagari and have to reveal our own in our extra deck and banish it. revealing that I don't have any second Kagari in our extra deck. Although I'm not sure why you would actually play more than one in the first place. Next, we're going to go ahead and activate Polymerization that we added back with the cat, with Chain and Penguin. Already using our Tiger for the turn, we did go ahead and elect to go into Fright for Kraken. Penguin's effect is going to activate because it was used as a fusion material for Kraken, allowing us to draw 2 cards and discard 1. So we'll go ahead and draw 2 cards here and discard our Book of Eclipse that we sided in for game 2. Next, we're going to go ahead and activate our Sabers effect, allowing us to put 1 card on top of our deck to special summon Edgem Sabers from the graveyard. You can only do this once per turn. So we'll go ahead and put that 1 card on top of our deck, allowing us to activate Polymerization from our hand, fusing together Fright for Kraken and Edgem Sabers for Fright for Sabertooth. Fright for Sabertooth effect is going to activate on summon, targeting the Kraken in our graveyard to bring him back, and add even more attack points to him because of Fright for Sabertooth's effect. Now that his field is clear, we're going to end your battle phase, attack for 2600, attack for 2600 again, checking to make sure that he can attack twice per turn, as long as you don't activate his effect, and you can attack directly. Once that's done, we'll attack with Sabertooth, and we'll go ahead and end the match. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next week with our next deck profile. As always, my name is Nate from the Script Academy, signing out for now. Peace out!